The expensive cat bed is sitting there like a tiny luxury hotel. Soft cushion, clean fabric, perfect shape. And somehow, all three of my cats choose the delivery box beside it. Not one cat. Not once. All three of them. Three completely different personalities. Three different moods. Three different ways of judging the world. But the same strange decision. They look at the bed. They look at the box. Then they step into the box like it was built by ancient cat architects. At first, I laughed. I thought it was just a cute cat thing. Maybe they were playful. Maybe cats are just weird. Maybe the box had a secret smell only they understood. But living with three cats changes how you look at small habits. You stop seeing one funny moment. You start seeing a pattern, and the pattern becomes hard to ignore. My first cat is bold. She walks into every room like she pays rent. If a new object appears, she must inspect it first. A chair, a bag, a box, a pile of laundry. Everything belongs to her until proven otherwise. My second cat is cautious. He does not rush into anything. He studies the room from the doorway. He listens before entering. He notices sounds I do not notice. If a bottle moves slightly on the table, he looks personally offended. My third cat is soft and quiet. She likes being near people, but not always on people. She follows me from room to room. Then she sits just far enough to say, I am here. Not too close. Not too far. Just present. They do not love the same toys. They do not sleep in the same places. They do not ask for attention the same way. But when a box arrives, something lines up. The bold one claims it like a throne. The cautious one circles it, smells it, and slowly steps inside. The quiet one waits until nobody is watching. Then she slips into it and disappears. That is when I stopped asking why boxes look funny. I started asking what the box changes for them. Because from a human point of view, a box looks ordinary. It is cheap. It is stiff. It is not especially beautiful. It is not even designed for comfort. But from a cat's point of view, it may solve several problems at once. A box has walls. A box has edges. A box has a clear entrance. A box makes the world smaller. And for an animal that cares deeply about control, that matters. This is the quiet part. Cats may not always search for comfort the way humans understand comfort. Humans often look for softness. A thick mattress. A warm blanket. A wide sofa. Open space. Room to stretch. But a cat may be looking for something else first. A cat may be looking for safety. Not emotional safety in a poetic way. Physical safety. Spatial safety. A position where surprises are limited. A place where danger cannot easily reach from behind. When one of my cats sits in an open room, she keeps turning her head. A sound from the kitchen. A footstep in the hallway. A plastic bag shifting on a chair. Every tiny change becomes information. But inside a box, the rules change. The back is protected. The sides are protected. The opening becomes the main area to watch. The world has fewer directions. That is not just cute. That is efficient. I started noticing this outside of boxes too. If there is a paper bag on the floor, one cat checks it. If the bag stands open, another cat slips halfway inside. If the bag is thick enough to hold its shape, they stay longer. If it collapses too easily, they leave faster. That small detail mattered. The material changed the feeling. A flimsy bag becomes unpredictable. A stable bag becomes a temporary shelter. The same thing happens with corners. Sometimes I find one cat sitting beside the cabinet. Not on the soft rug. Not on the blanket. Beside the cabinet, pressed near two walls, back protected, side protected, front open. It looks uncomfortable to me, but she stays there peacefully. Her eyes are half closed. Her body is relaxed. Her ears still listen. To me, the corner looks like a poor sleeping choice. To her, it may feel like a good security design. That is the difference. Humans decorate a home for beauty and softness. Cats rate a home as territory, cover, sound, scent, and escape routes. A room is not just a room, it is a map. The sofa is not just furniture. It is height, hiding, and observation. The curtain is not just fabric. It is cover. The laundry basket is not just laundry. It is smell, warmth, and a wall. And a cardboard box is not just trash from a delivery. It is a small control room. I began testing this in a simple way. Not like a scientist in a lab, just like a person at home with messy hair and comfortable clothes. Most evenings, I'm wearing a loose t-shirt and soft home pants. My hair is not styled. The apartment is quiet. One cat is on the floor. One is near the window. One is pretending not to watch me. I place different boxes in different spots. Large box, small box, tall box, low box, open box, box with one side cut lower, box near the wall, box in the middle of the room. Then I watch. The pattern becomes surprisingly clear. The large box gets attention, but it does not always become the favorite. If the box is too large, it loses that wrapped feeling. The cat can sit inside it, but the space does not hug the body. The walls are too far away. The cat still has too much area to monitor. The tiny box gets curiosity. Sometimes the bold cat forces herself into it anyway, because cats seem to believe geometry is negotiable. But if the box is too tight, they do not rest there long. They may test it. They may look adorable in it. But it does not always become the daily choice. The boxes they return to most are usually in the middle, small enough to feel enclosed, large enough to turn around, high enough to block part of the body, low enough to let them watch the room. That balance matters. It is not simply cats like boxes. It is more like cats like certain boxes in certain positions. And those preferences reveal how they think. The cardboard matters too. In my home, simple cardboard wins most often. Not glossy, not slippery, not coated with a strong smell. Just plain, dry, firm cardboard. The kind that holds its shape when a cat leans against it. The kind that makes a soft scraping sound under their paws. The kind that carries scent and warmth. Cardboard seems humble to us, but to a cat, it has useful qualities. It gives slight texture under the feet. It warms up with body heat. It absorbs familiar home smells over time. It creates walls without feeling like a cage. And it can be scratched, rubbed, claimed, and reshaped a little. That last part feels important. A cat does not just sit in a box. A cat often edits the box. They scratch the floor. They push the corner. They rub their face on the edge. They press their body into one side. They turn it from an object into a marked place. This is where it becomes theirs. A store-bought bed may be soft, but it may smell unfamiliar. It may sit too open in the room. It may not have enough walls. It may feel like something chosen by the human. A cardboard box feels different. It is simple enough for the cat to claim. It does not ask them to trust a complicated design. It just gives them boundaries. Then they decide what those boundaries mean. That is why I stopped feeling offended by ignored cat beds. The bed was not necessarily bad. It was just answering a human question. How do we make this soft and cute? The box answers a cat question. How do I rest while controlling the space around me? Those are not the same question. Paper bags taught me another part of this. My bold cat loves a paper bag immediately. She sticks her head inside, then half her body. Then she sits there as if she has moved into a studio apartment. My cautious cat treats the same bag like a suspicious cave. He taps it once. He waits. If the bag makes a loud crinkle, he backs away. If the bag stays stable, he returns. My quiet cat likes bags only when they are placed near a wall. In the middle of the floor, she ignores them. Near the wall, she considers them. That told me something simple. The object is only half the story. Placement is the other half. A box in the middle of an open floor can feel exposed. A box against a wall feels more protected. A box near a quiet corner feels even better. A box beside a loud door may not work at all. So when choosing a box, I do not just look at the box. I look at where it will live. Is there a wall behind it? Can the cat see the room from the opening? Is it away from heavy foot traffic? Is it close enough to people without being trapped by people? Can the cat leave easily? That last question is important. A good hiding place should not feel like a trap. Cats like cover, but they also like exits. The best box gives protection without closing them in. It creates privacy without removing choice. That may be why many cats like boxes with an open top. They can sit low and hidden, but they can also jump out fast. They are enclosed, but not trapped. That is a very cat-like compromise. Close enough to feel safe. Open enough to stay in control. Once I noticed this, I started seeing the apartment differently. The favorite chair was not only comfortable, it faced the room. The favorite window spot was not only sunny, it had a wall on one side. The favorite floor corner was not random. It had a cabinet behind it and a clear view forward. The favorite box was not magic. It simply had the right shape, smell, texture, and position. This does not mean every cat is the same. My 3 cats prove the opposite every day. One wants to be first. One wants to be sure. One wants to be near, but quietly. But their shared attraction to boxes suggests something deeper. Under the personality, there is instinct. Under the cute behavior, there is ancient logic. A house cat may sleep on a clean floor in a modern apartment. It may eat from a bowl. It may watch birds through glass. It may hear delivery notifications and washing machines. But its body still carries old questions. Where can I rest without being surprised? Where is my back protected? Where can I watch the opening? Where can I disappear for a while? Where does my body fit into the room? A cardboard box answers those questions quickly. No explanation needed. No luxury design needed. Just walls, texture, and a clear point of view. That is why the box can beat the expensive bed. Not because the cat is ungrateful. Not because the cat is trying to be funny. Not because the cat hates comfort. Because the cat may define comfort through control. That changes how I choose things for them. If I want all 3 cats to like a box, I choose simple first. Plain cardboard. Firm sides. A medium or slightly snug size. No strong perfume. No glossy coating. No unstable bottom. No sharp staples. No loose tape that can catch fur. If I use a paper bag, I choose a thick one. I remove handles if they could catch around a neck or leg. I keep it open and stable. I do not use plastic bags as hiding places. They are too risky and too unpredictable. The goal is not just to make a cute photo. The goal is to give them a place that feels good to them. A place they can enter freely. A place they can leave freely. A place that makes the room easier to understand. My favorite setup is very simple. A medium cardboard box near a calm wall. One open side facing the room. A soft, thin cloth inside, but not too thick. Enough texture to feel natural. Enough space to turn around. Enough wall to hide the body. Enough opening to watch everything. That setup works best across my 3 cats. The bold one uses it like a command center. She sits inside and watches everyone pass. The cautious one uses it like a test zone. He enters slowly, then relaxes once nothing changes. The quiet one uses it like a soft boundary. She sits there near the family without being touched too much. Same box. 3 different emotional uses. That is what I love about living with cats. They make ordinary objects complicated in the best way. A box becomes a shelter. A bag becomes a cave. A corner becomes a strategy. A laundry basket becomes a warm observation deck. And a human in home clothes, with relaxed hair and a cup of tea, becomes a researcher by accident. Not because I planned to study them, because they kept teaching me with tiny choices. The more I watched, the less I saw cats as random. They are playful, yes. They are strange, yes. They are also precise. They choose from the room with their whole nervous system. They test sound. They test smell. They test texture. They test escape. They test whether the space respects their need for control. And when a simple box passes that test, they move in. So maybe the real question is not why cats like boxes. Maybe the real question is why humans underestimate the box. We see packaging. They see architecture. We see clutter. They see cover. We see a cheap object. They see a small room with fewer threats. We call it weird. Their instinct calls it practical. That is the twist. The box is not only cute, the box is a tiny survival design hiding in plain sight. It helps a cat turn a large, noisy, unpredictable home into one manageable space. It gives the body a boundary. It gives the eyes one direction to monitor. It gives the nervous system a little less work to do. And maybe that is why a cat can look so peaceful inside cardboard. Not because the box is soft, because the world feels organized from inside it. The next time my cats ignore a new bed and choose the box, I try not to take it personally. I just look at the shape. I look at the walls. I look at the entrance. I look at where the box sits in the room. Then I understand them a little better. They are not rejecting comfort. They are choosing their version of it. A version built from cover, control, texture, scent, and escape. A version that looks silly to humans, but deeply logical to cats. Sometimes the most expensive object in the room is not the best one. Sometimes the best one is a simple cardboard box. The one that still smells like delivery day. The one placed beside the wall. The one with 3 sides of quiet protection. The one that says, from a cat's point of view, nothing can sneak up behind me here. And when all 3 cats agree on that, I listen. Because in a home shared with cats, comfort is not always what we buy. Sometimes comfort is what they choose. And sometimes their choice is telling us something older than the apartment itself. A box is not just a box. For a cat, it can be a small shelter, a watching post, and a private room. It can be a place where the modern home becomes a little more understandable, a little safer, a little quieter, a little more theirs. So when a cat folds itself into a cardboard square, maybe it is not being ridiculous. Maybe it is remembering something. Maybe it is rebuilding a tiny den in the middle of our living room. And maybe our job is not to laugh first. Maybe our job is to notice what the choice is saying.